Welcome to my new podcast. I am Jeff Buttigieg, the CEO of Remax Malta. It is my mission to enable others to see their true value so that they can become a better version of themselves. The Strive to Thrive podcast resonates with my mission in that I feel that I can give a lot back to the community. Aspiring business people and real estate agents will gain knowledge from my 20 plus years experience in business and in life. I will be interviewing successful people from all walks of life with an emphasis on providing you knowledge and inspiration. So join me on this journey where we will learn from the best and become better versions of ourselves. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. I'm here with Mark Micallef, real estate agent. He's been in the real estate industry for 20 years, working with Remax for 15 years. He's a high achiever, top producer, several years on the go. He travels to Las Vegas to collect his awards every year. Unfortunately, last year it was not possible. The podcast that we are creating here is to give inspiring people who are inspiring to become an agent that extra edge to understand where to go and how to actually develop proper skills and habits to be successful. And B, we want to tell the public that there is great service out there within the real estate industry. And by doing that, we want to educate the public. So, Mark, you've been working, you've been a manager, now you're a franchise owner with Remax Real Estate Specialists, but you act as an agent, solely as an agent, correct?
Correct. In my opinion, first of all, the job we do, if you want to call it a job, is very, very fulfilling due to a number of factors. Flexibility, you make your own day, you build your own strategies. However, the starting point from all this is if anyone is actually considering coming into the industry, the first thing they need to do is to commit. The first thing they need to do is to make a decision and stick to it. Unfortunately enough, nothing is easy in life. Whatever trade you do, whatever business you open, there's always an element of risk. But the starting point is to believe in yourself. And if you say, I'm going to do it, you do it. Don't go back on your word. Otherwise, you will end up being less successful or not successful at all. As with regards to the industry, I mean, the property market always changes. I mean, I've been doing it for around 20 years, give take, and I've been in a buyer's market, I've been in a seller's market, and obviously, if I do today what I used to do 20 years ago, I would not be successful. The foundations in any business are crucial. So if it's someone starting in the industry, I do recommend that they really emphasize on training, which is great because Remax is probably one of the companies who give the vast training, not just locally, but also internationally. So the starting point would be to walk before you can run, because there are agents who join a company, the next day they're out on the streets, showing properties, sometimes alone, sometimes not. I believe that you should start off by training yourself, by taking the courses seriously and building your foundations. Once you, in time, accomplish that, then you start branching off. And today, unlike how it was when I started, I do recommend that you try and specialize in a niche market. When I started, I was quite young, and any client that came to me, I would want to service. So I was working anywhere the client wanted to buy, anywhere in Malta. And to be quite honest, it actually worked in those days. Today, if I had to do the same thing, I don't think I would sell a single sale a year. Today, it's more like you need to understand a niche market. You need to be the expert in that market. And when you are out there in front of a client, you need to know all the answers.
Times change because
times change.
People start understanding the market more. They get more educated. They educate themselves. So now even these millennials, they want to know everything. They want to know each detail about the property. So yes, you have to adapt and change.
Another thing which is really important, I mean, in the 90s, early 2000s, we didn't really have internet. So the people out there looking to buy or sell depended on us fully.
Yeah.
Today, they have Google who can answer all their questions. So obviously times change and we need to change with times. But the most crucial thing, in my opinion, is that you need to be transparent with your clients. You need to be honest with your clients. You need to think long term. Don't think about the sale. Think about long term. Build a relationship.
Yeah.
Give that client something from the heart. Don't just show him a property to make a sale. And you know what? It's going to work to your advantage, because that client will actually feel that you've done your job from the heart. You've been sincere, and he will come back again, and again. And he will also recommend. So that, to me, that is crucial.
So service, it's service.
Service. And if there's something which is not right in a property, if you need to tell the client, you need to tell the client. If he asks you, can they ever build in front of you? You need to say, there's a possibility. You need to know. If it's a green area, you need to say, it's a green area, but no one can guarantee the future. Although right now you cannot. And believe me, the client appreciates this.
A real estate agent, is he actually an entrepreneur in his own right? Or because people say, with some real estate companies, they're micromanaged, they're followed up. How is the job of a real estate agent?
There are two types of real estate agents. There is the average real estate agent who does everything by the book, the agent who follows the rules as he rightfully should. And there is the estate agent who tries to go one step further. Now, I've got a lot to learn in the industry. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'm still a beginner in my mind, because you learn something new every day, even from a beginner. So I believe that to be an entrepreneur, you need to think outside the box, and you need to try and be different to what everybody else is doing. Even if they're doing the right thing, you don't want to be one of 100. You want to be a bit special. You want to be a bit different. You want people to reach out for you. So I believe that you need to think outside the box. You need to, although you need to go back to basics, because basics are fundamental, you need to try and be creative. Always trying to think of the client's best interests. So there's two agents. There's the agent who does everything by the book, and there's the agent who tries to be a bit different.
I wanted to ask you about time management. How important it is for a real estate agent to have set times to do certain tasks, being on time for appointments, and they need to have some kind of routine.
Yeah, time management is key in the industry, because if you don't have, if you're not disciplined and you don't have the right kind of time management, before you know it, it's 7 p.m, it's time to go home, and you say to yourself, what did I do today? What did I do? So what I normally do is every single morning, I handwrite my to-do list, and I want it handwritten. I don't want to type it on the PC. And in order of priority. So I may have 5, 6, 10 tasks I need to get done on that day. And I put them in order of prioritization. And before I go home, I make sure that what I set out to do, I do. Now, you get people who actually go to the office, they work, they stop, they have a coffee, someone comes in, they talk, then they get back to work, and then someone says, we're going for lunch, they go. Don't get me wrong, you can't work from morning to night and not breathe. But you need to have a structure, you need to be disciplined. When I'm in the office, I am working 200%. When I'm outside of the office, when I'm taking a break, when I'm going for lunch, then I'm in a relaxed mode. But you need to be disciplined, because you'll be surprised. The day is gone and you realize that you've hardly got anything done. And that takes discipline. Sometimes someone's talking to you or cracking a joke. I tell them very politely, hey guys, listen, I need to get this done, please. And they leave me alone. So to me, that is crucial.
What would be the 3 key habits that helped you progress in your career?
Well, the habits that helped me progress in my career are, the starting point to anything in life is mindset. You have to have the right mindset in what you do. You have to focus, and you have to focus, and you have to execute. Mindset to me is the key to anything you do, because if you don't believe in what you do, you're not going to do it right. Focus is paramount. I mean, when you're in the office getting stuff done, you need to focus on what you're doing. Again, we were talking about distractions. You need to brush them to one side and need to focus on what you're doing. And execution. If you say you're going to do whatever you're going to do it. Integrity. If you promise a client, I'm going to get back to you within the hour, get back to them within the hour. Otherwise, don't promise it. And what you give out will always come back.
It's just like showing up on time.
Showing up on time. You're meeting a client. Imagine you're meeting a client for the first time and you're 20 minutes late. That first impression is no good, no matter what the excuse is. So what I always try and do is get there before the client. And in an emergency, I would call the client and tell him, listen, I'm stuck in traffic or whatever it may be, but I would not turn up late without explanation. Because that first impression, that 5-second meeting is when a person decides if they like you or not.
Yeah, sure. Do you believe being healthy as a, fitness and exercise?
That is also key. And I work on that a lot. Coincidentally, I gym every weekday. And you'd be surprised, even people who are not in the property industry and who have been to the gym, when you walk out of the gym, you feel great. And it's not just when you walk out of the gym, you feel great. You feel healthy, you feel good in front of your clients. When you dress well, you feel good, you feel slick. When you go to work and you've got a stain on your top or you've got a rip in your jeans or whatever, you don't feel right. Yeah. And the client can see this. So it's like you feel good, you act good, and you react good.
We talked about the key habits. Now, what are the key things to don't do in the as a real estate agent?
Well, don't do. That's a tricky one.
Because people think that being a real estate agent is all glory and they make loads of money, but it's actually a business. Yes. So there are things that you need to do, and there are things that you shouldn't do.
Yes, there are agents who, unfortunately enough, are not trained the right way, and sometimes you meet a homeowner or a buyer who's not very keen to work with an estate agent, and you know what? Sometimes they're right. Reason being is they may have had a bad experience with someone in the past who may be a nice chap, but you need to be trained, you need to be qualified. So really and truly, I believe that you need to be fully trained when you meet a prospective client. You need to be professional, and the client needs to feel that they are in good hands. Because if you're buying a house from me and you feel I don't even know what I'm doing, how can I expect you to trust me? So it's all about trust. It's all about preparation, and it's all about working, being prepared, working with passion. And you know what? Sometimes clients, they tell me, I can see you love what you do. And they can see it in the body language, in the tone of voice. And it makes them feel more comfortable because they say, this guy, I am actually in good hands. So that is what you should do. What you shouldn't do is, of course, the complete opposite. Not be prepared. Everything is okay, as they say in Maltese, not give them the right guidance, not give them all the answers. So it's all about, imagine you're buying a house. How would you want the person to react with you? Exactly the same thing.
I'm an ambassador of customer service, and I've been speaking with the Property Malta organization. And one of my, I won't say criticism, but the fact the license is fantastic that we're rolling out at the moment, and it will be in full blast on 1st of January 2022. But I still believe that there needs to be customer service standards within the industry. What are your thoughts about that? Because we can teach everyone as many technical skills as they can learn. But I think ethics, I think service, and I think giving the best to our customers, the Maltese and our foreigners, is the most important.
But customer service also comes with preparation. Now, you may get an agent who's going to show a property, not even sure where it is. He finds it on Google Maps, arrives there with the client and not sure which house it is. He goes in and you can feel that he's lost. This is not customer service. You need to be prepared. if needs be, you should go and see the property before you show it.
In fact, I had the guy who was showing my house yesterday. He was coming at 5. I told him, aren't you going to come and see it first?
Yeah.
You know, because you have to know the house before you show it.
You have to know the house before you show it, and not just know the house. And apart from knowing the property you're showing, you've got to be knowledgeable, whereby you need to be prepared. So this all comes into customer service. It's not just about smiling and being polite. It's also about being prepared, being professional, and answering their queries in the most appropriate manner in order to make them feel comfortable. Whether it's good or bad news, they need to know it.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it. What they don't appreciate is when you hide something from them. And as karma always does, it comes back and bites you in the ass. So I believe that customer service is crucial, and it's all about preparation and working with passion.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for coming on my podcast. It's a real pleasure to see you again. We've been knowing each other for maybe too long.
True.
Even in your storm days.
Yeah, the musical days.
Musical days.
Good old days.
Really appreciate your time and effort to come here. I know you're busy. Thanks a lot. And it's a real pleasure. Cheers.
Thanks a lot to you as well. It's been a pleasure being here. And for anyone who wants to know more about me, just log on to mark-micallef.com. Thanks.
Cheers.